with you, and I just can't think of a better mentor and example in their life, so thank you, and God bless you, and you've been a blessing to me, I appreciate it.
Well, the one thing that I charge all of you with, my dad had a great reputation. I found out that in the book. And when Donna wrote to the Marion Advertiser to get a copy of that book, the editor said, "But a good name we had in Marion." And I just want that name to continue. So don't do anything that'll blemish the Lord's name. That's all I have.
Well, I want to keep on adding, because I know we all have something that we'd love to say. And I want to say, you know what I remember, because I was so bad, but the thing I remember about, but you were saying, you know, how you felt sometimes you were mean or whatever. But what I remember, and you know this from me sharing this at times, that when I was so bad, and Josh might not know, some of you guys might know or not know, but Dad never came back. Like when I did things that were really bad or wrong or just horrible, he never, I don't ever remember you yelling at me. He always was just like when I came home, well, I hate to say this on here, when I, you know, he would just ask me first, how are you? He would just come out with just compassion. He was more concerned about how I was. He may have said, how are you first, and you're grounded until you're 18. But he still wanted to know how. I'll never forget that. Like, I still think about that. I still think about, I don't, you know, I just remember you being so compassionate and so caring, even though I would do so many bad things. You always were so kind and so forgiving. And so I don't think we could say anything better than, you know, you might have a husband, but really you always had a tender and a compassionate heart. And what more can you be? Why do you think you have a family that is so kind? All my brothers and sisters are so kind and sweet. And my son, and now my future. You know,
no pressure, no pressure.
Okay, well.
Does ballet.
So, but I mean, it's the compassion. It's the compassion.
I think, well, yeah.
Sorry to make the pressure. I just guess I already think of it.
Like those.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I remember when I shot you with the BB gun when we were fishing one time. You didn't yell at me.
Where did he shoot you at?
No, and I was shooting at a can, and that was hanging, that I hung from a little,
And it wasn't a good
from a
shot.
big weed, and
It was windy.
Dad was further down the line, and all he said was, "Ow." And then he said, "You know, there was something behind that can." Yeah, I missed the can, by the way.
Well, that's one thing, Dad. You have a really good sense of humor. A very nice, dry, funny sense of humor that we all enjoy. And I enjoy that you like to spend time with us.
Yeah.
You know, you like to be with us and you like to play games with us, and we totally enjoy playing games with you. Of course, obviously, we are the benefactors of your generosity, and it's been throughout the years you've been generous with, I mean, everyone that I know, and even your mail talks about how generous you are, because everywhere that you've ever given to keeps sending you mail. So just your mail attests to y'all's generosity, and we love you, and we appreciate you, and we respect you, and thank you for taking me fishing. Thank you for taking me fishing with you and Dave. I always felt like I was the second boy.
You know,
Because I know I am, but he always took me fishing because he knew that I liked it, and it was really a special and created a lifelong love of fishing that will never go away, and I really enjoyed those times.
Yeah, he's really.
And you're a super nice landlord.
He's had to be a landlord
Super nice
several times,
landlord.
though.
Oh, yeah.
And probably one of my favorite, and so this just popped in my head, was even when I was in high school and college, when all my friends would want to go hang out at, like in high school at the football games, I just, and don't get jealous because we went out to eat, but mom and dad would go out to eat and I just wanted to go out with them. And so on Friday night, when all my friends would be going to hang out and do their thing, I went out with my mom and dad. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I felt that way when I came back from college. It's just,
been a good mentor to me and give me examples how to be a father and a grandfather. My family was real small and there's only my sister left now. And they were always kind of stoic and not a tight, close family. And so I've learned a lot from you, and I learned a lot how to talk to Kathy. And I get to use, she goes to you and goes, "Is that right?" He says this. So I get that as a mentor.
Oh, another thing. The fact that you stayed at your job and you were just such a consistent and faithful person. And that really set a good example on the work ethic side. And you taught us how to, be independent. You didn't coddle us, you let us grow up. Kind of made us grow up. We had to grow up, but you were always there, but at the same time, you didn't over coddle.
You were very, very trusting. Both you and Mom were very trusting of all of us, I think.
Well, one thing, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
both of
anybody
them.
would, you
Yeah.
kids would lie. So I was mistaken a few times, I know that.
Oh, I remember
But that's
you,
why if you told me something, I always believed it, because
Yeah. and I remember your policy was you never put restrictions on us, and, for no reason. You wouldn't just decide, because it was the trusting part, right? You stay out till midnight and 2 unless we prove that there's a reason we shouldn't stay out till midnight or 2, and you said that was your policy.
Well, I just want to say that you have been the best example in my life as a human being all around, as far as just not even speaking when there's no point in speaking, and speaking when there is a point in speaking. And from your accounting to just the way you've raised your kids has always affected me, even when I was a kid.
are you saying you've grown up?
that's a joke.
Even as I'm still a kid. Or act like a kid.
That's true.
I'm just
I heard that.
joshing with you, Josh.
Well, and we all love that you love to have us around. That you just make it a welcome
You're always
place.
welcome, that's for
Yeah.
darn sure. Sometimes I'm a little glad to see you leave.
Interviews.
I was kind of wondering if last time you went to the hospital you thought, when we couldn't come visit you.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry.
You can always tell us to go home.
Well, even once I think I didn't play cards. No, you're always welcome, as long as you wanna stay, as long as they don't have to cook for you.
Not true. There it is. Sorry.
Do you have anything nice to say about Grandpa?
I'm sigh. I'm nervous. Sorry. Oh, never mind. Okay, no. I say you are. Sorry. I say you're a great grandfather. I hope that you trust me with your granddaughter, because my Lord does made me special. And I thank you for loving us, Lord. I meant, Grandpa.
Well, I always appreciated, when we were little and my mom had to work all the time, like, we could always be at your guys' house and have fun, and, like, one of the reasons, like, I really wanted to go into business is because of what, you did accounting, and I've just always found that interesting. So it's kind of, like, part of the reason I wanted to go into the business field and stuff, so.
What?
And it was actually the job that you got me in the warehouse at Oscar Myers that changed me into IT, into computers. Because before then, I was thinking about being an accountant, which I realize now that I'd be a very bad accountant. Not organized enough. But getting that job in the warehouse, and working with Dennis Green and the computer cards and talking with Guy, that's what changed my mind and pointed me to want to look into computers.
Oh.
So that was great.
I always heard you hated that job.
Well, that was a hard job because, well, it's a long story, but there was some very union people there, and I had a yellow hat on, and they had the white hat on, and they didn't like me in their territory. So it was hard, and they made my life hard, but I did like working with the computers, even though it was just slightly working with computers. It was enough to change my major right before I started MTSU.
Oh,
Were they trying to get you to go union? Join?
No, they were just,
Want to run you off because you were.
I would, well, and there's a big, like a department would be running low on something that they needed to keep their line up. So I would go out there all concerned and say, here, they need these labels over there, so the line doesn't shut down. And he says, okay, let's put it to the back of the list. Or if I was doing something that was their job, well, yeah, we should write you up. Or doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, because it's our job. And just anything that I did, they were not nice. But we ended up being friends. I actually liked them, but they were just always digging into me. But I got my major out of it, so it was well worth it.
Was there anything else you'd like to share with us, Dad?
Go ahead. Is it okay? Sorry.
No, the main thing is that you keep the Lord's name good. Just do as you're doing now. I love you all, and I still think I wouldn't trade my family for anybody in the world, really. I think we could go anywhere and you couldn't find 7 people that love one another and we're as good as you guys are, so keep it up and pass it on. Amen.
Thanks for having me.